At the start of the film, we see a corridor with dead bodies lying. Somebody is screaming in terror and chanting a mantra. We see a diary and a burnt body lying down, and there lies a vessel. Tamira lives with her parents, who immigrated from India to the USA. Her mom wants her help to make prasad, but she says she has no time. Her mother says that it's an offering, and they should do it by themselves. Her mother starts to tell her stories, but she is busy with her phone. Her father comes back from work, and they have breakfast together. She leaves for school but does not take her lunch. Sam is in the class. A guy called Russ invites her to a party, but she says that she has some work with her mother so she won't be able to make it. A girl named Tamira walks in. She is completely distraught and carries a vessel with her at all times. At the end of the class, Professor Joyce stops Sam. She asks what's wrong with Tamira as they used to be friends. She says she is not sure and is old enough to take care of herself. Sam and Kitty are at the auditorium. Tamira comes there, and Kitty makes some nasty remarks about her. She asks Sam to say something in Hindi as she records it. Tamira is walking back home alone while chanting some mantra. Blood is dropping from her school bag. She gets inside her house and puts the jar on the ground. She takes out a piece of meat from her bag and puts it in the jar. Tamira then turns back and starts to chant. We hear the sound of crunching coming out of the jar. After it stops, she picks up the jar and it cracks. She starts to scream. The next day, Tamira goes to meet Sam in the locker room. She says that she has something to say to Sam, and she will have to believe her. She says that some evil is stuck in the vessel. She says that she has found it in some guy's house. It just wants to eat raw flesh, but she is not strong enough to keep it hostage. Sam does not believe any of it and knocks over the jar. It shatters in pieces. Tamira runs away from there, leaving a diary. Sam follows her and apologizes. Tamira starts to act weird and sees something. Sam says that she is going to get help. Tamira begs her to stay with her, but she leaves. Suddenly, Tamira's hair starts to fly in the air and something drags her out of there. Sam comes back with Joyce, but she is nowhere to be found. Tamira's mom has filed a report on her missing daughter. Joyce asks her if something happened between them, but she does not say anything. Tamira is stuck in some place. She hears something growling around her, which suddenly attacks her hands. Religious festivity going on at Sam's place. Her mother asks everyone to pray for Tamira so that she comes back safe. She hears someone talking about a family, the Chowdhury family. Sam asks her father about it. He says that the family was running from something in India. They had a son called Karan who went completely lunatic and eventually vanished. She goes to her room and takes out the diary that Tamira left. There is an initial on the diary KC, which stands for Karan Chowdhury. Sam is ready to leave. Her mother comes to stop her, but she leaves anyway. She goes to her school and opens the diary. It's filled with mantras and images that Sam can't decipher. She then gets a message from Russ to go to a party. Tamira shuts her phone and suddenly sees something behind her. But as she looks back, she finds nothing. She then goes to the party and meets Russ there. As they are talking, she keeps on getting distracted. He asks her to come to the dance floor. She hesitates at first, but then joins him. They start to dance, but suddenly it begins to rain. They take shelter in a car. She gets distracted again and Russ asks about it. She says that she is thinking about Tamira. They start to talk about Karan. It was said that his dead body was found completely burned, but there was no fire. She says that there might be something in the house, and Russ offers to drive there. They reach the place and start to roam around the house. They go to Karan's room and see a painting on the wall. It seems like a child is devouring something. Suddenly, a police car approaches there. They run away but leave the diary there. Sam sees Tamira in her sleep and gets up. She suddenly hears something and looks up. She sees two eyes in her closet. But when she uses her flash, there is nothing. The moment she turns it off, the eyes appear again. It starts to growl and comes at her. Sam's dream breaks and she wakes up. Sam wants her mom's help, but she asks her about Tamira. She asks why is she so ashamed of her culture. She does not even bring her friends home, nor does she speak in her language. But Sam insults her and leaves. Sam and Russ hang out outside Karen's house. She tells Russ that she used to be best friends with Tamira, but she wanted to blend in, so she started hanging out with other people, and that's how their friendship broke. As she is talking, Russ suddenly approaches and kisses her. Russ lights a joint and offers it to Sam. They start to kiss again, but Sam suddenly hears a whispering coming from the house and goes inside. Russ is sitting on the swing when something comes behind him. Sam hears Russ outside and goes. Russ is getting strangled in the swing by some unknown forces. It slashes him and ends up killing him. The cops come to the scene and declare it an animal attack. Her parents come to pick her up. Tamira is still stuck in some place. She tries to leave, but as she gets up the stairs, something grabs her by the leg and drags her down. Sam's parents are worried about her. They try to ask her about what happened with Russ. She refuses to answer anything. Her mother is furious and says that they don't mean anything to her. At night, Sam hears her mom crying and goes to check. Suddenly, her body starts to contour. and her voice changes. She turns into a creature who starts to follow Sam. She suddenly gets up from her nightmare. She goes to school to talk to Joyce. She says that she wants her help, and Joyce needs to believe her. She says that something is following her and is listening to everything. She shows her the picture that she took from Karen's room. Joyce says that she will look into it. She suddenly starts to zone out as Joyce is speaking. Something seems to be approaching them, and a monster appears behind Joyce's back. Sam runs away. Joyce turns around to see but finds nothing. Joyce calls Sam at night. She says that the picture she showed her is a demonic entity called Pisak. It consumes your soul. It is supposed to be contained inside your body or any vessel. Joyce wants help and wants to come by. Sam agrees. Sam goes to her mother to ask her about Pesach. She says that Pesach feeds on negative feelings and slowly consumes the person. It isolates one from the people that they love, and anyone who tries to help the victim will come under target. Sam says that these stories are real. She says that Karan's family brought the Pesach back, which Tamira found. Sam's mother says that Tamira might be alive, as Pesach feeds on their souls slowly. She opens the diary where it is written that Tamira has 7 days to die, and it is the last day after which she will be killed. Sam's mother comes up with a plan. She says that they need to cook and make an offering for the Pesach to summon him. Now, back at the school, Joyce is getting ready to visit Sam. As she turns off the light, she hears some growl. She turns it off again, and this time when she turns it on, she sees fog in the mirror, as if someone has breathed there. She turns off the light, and this time the Pesach appears behind her. She runs away. Joyce keeps running in the corridor, but the Pesach follows. It pushes her on the ground, and then smacks her against the wall. She runs away from there again. Sam's mother gets her ready for the prayer. Joyce locks herself in a locker. The Pesach approaches and starts to bang on the door. It keeps on banging the door, but Joyce somehow manages to run and hide in the washroom. But there is no hiding, as the Pesach appears there as well. It knocks over Joyce and leaves. Back at the house, Sam's mother gets her ready for the prayer. She prepares a meal with her mother. Sam finds a peace mantra to captivate the Pesach. They start to chant it together. As they are chanting, Sam's mother says that it might be their karma for leaving their family back in India. But she is feeling happy today as Sam is with her instead of being on her phone. She suddenly remembers that Joyce was supposed to call her. She has received a voice message from Joyce who says that the Pesach is real and they need to run. They hear something at the door. Sam's mom picks up a knife and goes there. Her father has come. As they are talking, some invisible force attacks him from behind. It picks him up in the air and throws him out. But Sam's mom says that there is an offering for him and he needs to go there. The Pesach goes there and knocks over the table. It then approaches them, throws her mother, and leaves. Sam suddenly figures out where Tamira is and goes to save her. She goes to Karan's house and calls for her. She sees the Pesach there, who slowly starts to approach her. She chants the mantra, which hurts the Pesach, but suddenly her hands start to burn. As she gets distracted and stops chanting, the Pesach attacks her. He drags her by the feet. She hits it with a piece of wood and manages to escape. She goes to a room and locks herself there. The Pesach breaks the door and grabs her. She finds a weapon and attacks the Pesach with it. She suddenly finds Tamira there. The Pesach breaks a wall and gets inside. The Pesach takes its form and knocks Sam over. She loses her vessel. She tries to grab it, but the Pesach knocks her over. She gets up and sees that the Pesach is trying to kill Tamira. She gets up, grabs the vessel, and starts to chant. Her whole body starts burning up. The monster gets a hold of her and breaks the vessel. As he is ready to attack her, Tamira holds her hand and starts to chant. They both start to chant together, and the Pesach starts to get weak. The vessel is broken. She suddenly remembers that she can trap the Pesach inside her body. They start to chant together, and the monster turns to ashes. She starts to devour the Pesach inside her. They successfully get the job done, and now Tamira is safe. 1 year later, everyone is at Sam's house. Sam is given raw meat to eat. They chant the mantra together, and she consumes the meat. Sam and Tamira are walking on the road together. Tamira thanks her for saving her life. She is also worried as the Pesach lives inside her. Sam says that she has him under control. Tamira leaves, and a tear rolls down Sam's cheeks. So that was the recap for the 2023 movie, It Lives Inside. For more movie recaps such as this, stay subscribed to the channel.